Today I will discuss about the population dynamic and epidemiology. What is fertility? What is fertility? What do you mean by fertility? Trupti madam kuhantu. What is fertility? Minati.
हाँ हाँ मैम जो फर्टिलिटी मीन्स होची जोटा माने बाथ माने जन्म ये करबा
हाँ कौन सीटा फर्टिलिटी माने जनरली में कौन बुझवा व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फर्टिलिटी
Birth rate.
ये संगमित्रा मैडम कहंतु व्हाट डू मीन बाय फर्टिलिटी
Birth rate.
जन्म
what
Rate.
birth rate, that is fertility. What is the definition of fertilization?
Ma'am, productivity.
What is reproduction? Is there any difference between reproduction and fertility?
मैम जोटा रहे ये भितरे मदर्स ये भितरे सेटा आज्ञा सेटा
माने कोन you are a DNHE student, that means you have to remember the medical terms. Okay, ये भितरे कहाँ भितरे ये भितरे means what?
Uterus.
Yes,
uterus.
You already learn about the reproductive system na. In the reproductive system, female reproductive organ is there. Yes, one in the center, uterus is there, and both of the uterus, two what? Ovary is there, and that ovary is suspended by the ligaments to the where? To the uterine tube. This uterine tube is otherwise called as the what? Fallopian tube. Yes or no? In the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Three parts is there. At the end part of the fallopian tube, what it is called? At the fimbriated end is there. At the end of the fallopian tube, now fimbria-like projection is there. That is the fimbriated end of the uterine tube, and where it is directly attached to the where ovary. Okay, and totally the that uterine tube is mainly divided into three parts. One is the what? Ambulatory part. Second one is the what? Fimbriated end, and the middle one. In the ambulated part is nothing. Ambulated part is the what? The dilation part, where the sperm and ovum will be after the zygote formation. They will be remain there for some days. That is the ambulatory part of the what? Fallopian tube. Understood? And the uterus also, mainly the uterus is the trigon shape, and it is mainly three parts. One is the fundus, another one is the body, and the last one is the what? Last one kono? Minati? Last one? In the uterus, the uppermost part is the what? Fundal part, fundus part of the uterine cavity, and then the middle one is the body part of the what? Uterine cavity, and the last one is the your cervical part. In the cervix also there are two os is there. One is the internal os and another one is the external os. So in the in the reproduction, कौन होती reproduction रे हमर specifically? किए कहूतिले मिनती मैडम ना प्रज्ञा किए कहूतिले मते सुनी परचंदी ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Madam, are you there now? Where the fertilization takes place? All of you know the answer. କୁହନ୍ତୁ.
ଓଭାରିରେ
Ovary.
Class
Ovary.
means
ଓଭାରିରେ
yes. Class means what? Interaction must be there. Without interaction, class ରେ କିଛି ମଜା ହିଁ ନାହିଁ. ଖାଲି ମୁଁ ହିଁ ଦେବି ଆପଣ ମାନେ ନେବେ. ଏଟା କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନୁହଁ. ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଯାହା ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ମୋ ସହିତ ସେୟାର କରିବେ. You have to share with me. ନା କଣ?
Ovary, madam.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସରି
ଓଭାରି ma'am.
ନେଟ୍ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଟିକେ ହଉଛି ତ ଏଠି ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସରି
Okay, okay.
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ହଁ.
यूटेरस रे मैडम
Very good. Very good. तो
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସରି ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆପଣଙ୍କ କ୍ଲାସ ଟା ବହୁତ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ ଲାଗେ ଆମର ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଯୋଉ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ନଉଥିଲେ ପୁରା ଇଏ ହଉଥିଲା ଆମେ ପୁରା ଚୁପ୍ ହେଇକି ବସୁ ଆପଣ ଆସିଲେ ଆପଣ ଏନର୍ଜି ଆସିଯିବ
ନା
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ମୁଁ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ଏତେ ନା ନା ମ୍ୟାଡମ ମୁଁ ବି ଏତେ ମାନେ ଭଲସେ ବି ନଉ ନାହିଁ ବିକଜ ଆମକୁ ରହିଛି ୱିଦିନ ଦ ସର୍ଟ ପିରିୟଡ ଅଫ ଟାଇମ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ପୁରା ଯେ ଏତିକି ଯାକ ସିଲାବସ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟ କରିବାର ଅଛି एंड बेले बेले भी मोर टाइम हे जाउची क्लास रे जॉइन कला बेल को टाइम रो भी माने से जो स्टिपुलेटेड टाइम हमको दिया है से टाइम भीतर बेले बेले मु माने जॉइन करि पारुनी आ तो टाइम आउट हेला बेल को तो हमको निहाती रूपे माने से समय क्लास को माने सारीबा पई पडुची तो जाहो हमको तो फिर भी
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍
मु
थैंक
गोटे
यू ମ୍ୟାମ୍
मु गोटे जिनसे लास्ट रे कहबी मु ऑलरेडी आपण मानन को नंबर देइची जदि भी कहार किछि प्रॉब्लम रहउची रिलेटेड टू योर टॉपिक ओके नॉट ओनली रिलेटेड टू माने सिलेबस रे जहां भी टॉपिक रही तो मते निहाती रूपे आपण माने परे इवन क्लास सरीला परे भी केते बोले भी मते मो समय नै कि आपण पचेरबी तो आई विल क्लैरिफाई योर आंसर निहाती
ओके ମ୍ୟାମ୍ थैंक यू ମ୍ୟାମ୍
रूपे समस्त प्रकार ये को मु ट्राई करबी मो लेवल रे ये करे ओके vital statistics in Asian country related to mainly आज हमें पढ़िबा population dynamics and the epidemiology in this unit now I will discuss about the role of vital statistics in the public health and the vital statistics in the Asian countries sources of the data of vital statistics fertility measures in the determinants and the epidemiological methods that is the morbidity mortality and their determinants and the other population parameters also. First, I will discuss about the role of vital statistics in public health. In research, mainly research conducted in the field of the population, where the parameters such as the birth weight, life expectancy at birth, etc., has given us the scientific evidence regarding the influence of these factors on the nutritional status of the population in general. Okay. And specifically in this topic now I will discuss about the mainly the experience in developing the programs has generated idea about the interrelationship between the population parameters and the nutritional status of the people. And mainly in this topic I will focus effort will be made to the families you with the important vital events such as the birth means the fertility and the nuptiality means the marriages and the morbidity means morbidity is the disease condition that is the morbidity and mortality is the death condition and their levels trends and determinants the various fertility and the mortality rates important from the points of view of the public health which are mainly discussed as the part of this unit. And what is the objective of this unit mainly main objective of this statistics and epidemiology mainly it describes the level and the trend of the various population parameters in India and the other Asian countries and the regional level also. And mainly the compute the major rates and the ratio related to the marriage, death, birth, growth and other vital events also. And mainly the identify the major determinants and the pattern of the vital events and explain the prevalence and the control of the major diseases. What is the role of vital statistics in the public health? Mainly in the public health, if we will consider about the public health and the community or in the country, there are many ways in which the vital statistics can be of use. Mainly in the changes in the vital rates help to monitor the progress in the overall socio-economic development of the community or the country. And mainly now the fertility and the mortality rates is a community are indicator of overall health and the nutrition. That means the quality of the life of the community, and hence so the level of socio-economic development and the needs to improve the isolate the same. Mainly analysis of the vital statistics help the government to plan for the health services for reaching the general population and improving the health related socio-economic condition also. The vital statistics in the Asian country, mainly the most vital statistics are expressed in the vital rates. What is vital stress? Now, when the vital statistics of the fertility or the mortality or the morbidity are expressed a number of the people with a state of illness or the number of events, that means the birth rate, the death rate in relation to the total population at risk group of people having certain similar characteristic like the region where they are belonging and the sex and the age. It is called as the vital rates. And this definition of the vital rates may seems a little difficult to you. And the sources of data or the vital statistics. What is the sources of data collection? Mainly the sources of data or the vital statistics are mainly depend upon the spatial survey, okay, and the census rate, and the national sample surveys also, health services records, sample registration scheme, population register, census, and the last one is your disease register. Along not only the disease register, special survey is also very important. Okay, before learning more details about each of these, now mainly now what is census? Census means complete counting of an individual or house, individual population census or housing census. Okay, and in a country now in a fixed data, preferably once in the 10 years. जोटा कि हमरो generally आपण माने देखुथिबे प्रत्येक 10 वर्ष थरे हमरो जो गणना माने घर घर बुली की जो माने अछंती अंगनवाड़ी वर्कर हो या कोनसी हेल्थ वर्कर हो, they are doing. And mainly the census provides the information on the mainly occupation and literacy and the religion, sex, age, income, etc. of the population. And the first census in our country took place in the 1872, and subsequently it is being conducted once in the 10 years. In India, the latest census was held in the 2011. Okay, and mainly what is population register? Population register means the name of each person in the country is entered. Important migratory movement of the individual are also registered. The primary objective of the setting of this system of population mainly register is to establish the identity of the individual and the control them. The register, however, are also used to obtain such demographic information as current population, size, internal migration, data on vital events. These all are the population register. What is sample registration scheme? In the sample registration scheme, in every community, records of the marriage, records of the birth, and the records of the death kept by either the local authority or by the religious leaders. And if their records are complete and kept systematically, they can be used for the estimation of the mortality, marriage rates, and the fertility. And there is one limitation in our country. These records are usually not complete. This is because of the ignorance, because of the indifference and the illiteracy and poor system of the management. And there is also no incentive also registered death, birth, and the marriage also. People usually do not report these vital events promptly. In spite of this, systemic analysis of these records to help to provide the vital statistics of some public health significance. And what is health service record? Health service records means information can also be obtained from the health service records kept by the health sector for the administrative purpose, mainly in the maternal mortality in the hospital and the disease-specific morbidity, and the information about the birth weight, height during the infancy and the childhood arm circumference of the children, and information on the immunization and the prevention and the control of the certain epidemic disorder. This is all about your health service records. In the health service records, you have to keep the record by the health sector for the administration purpose, And in these records, you have to maintain the height during the infancy and the childhood arm circumference of the children, and the information on the immunization and the prevention and control of the certain epidemic disorder also, and maternal mortality in the hospital, disease specific morbidity, and the information about the birth weight, height during the infancy. These all are the comes under the health service records. And through these health service records, that mainly provides the useful data of the vital statistics, and they are mainly the limitation unless kept properly. The limitation is they are kept on the administrative purpose. Okay. And what is National Sample Survey? The main objective of the National Sample Survey now has been to collect the data on some important socio-economic aspect on the comprehensive basis for the whole country through its various rounded by using the techniques of the sample survey. Okay. And the first round of National Sample Survey, that is the NSS, conducted in the 1950. And what is disease register? In the disease register, disease register, you have to maintain various hospital provides data on mortality and morbidity for the selected specific disease and the treatment given. In the disease register, we have to maintain mainly the specific data for the mortality and morbidity for the selected specific disease and the treatment provided. And special survey. What is special survey? In the special survey, household survey, mainly undertaken by the members of the community or village agents or local official or the researchers, are really very useful in the providing the information on age specific and disease specific mortality. And this mainly is carried out at the national level and are more frequently used for the providing the information for the vital statistics and the rates also. This is all about your different types of mainly sources of data on the vital statistics. In the sources of the data on the vital statistics, census is there, population register, disease register, special survey, health service records, national sample survey, and the sample registration scheme is also there. Next one is the fertility measure and the determinants. What is fertility measure? In the fertility measure, mainly mainly in the community, the lower mortality rate in the community often indicate the better nutritional status. That means a high fertility rate and the insufficient food availability at the household level for the sizable section of the population results in the poor nutritional status, especially for the women. And lowering the fertility rates is very important, not only for the population control, but also for the improving the women's health and the nutrition. And what is crude birth rate? Crude birth rate is the CBR. Okay. In the crude birth rate, the number of the live birth per 1,000 estimated mid-year population of a community in a given calendar year. The birth rate is equal to the number of live birth in a year in a given area divided by the estimated mid minus the year population multiplied by the 1,000. That means the average population is ordinarily taken as the mid-year population. Census counts are used for the calculation in the census year. The cause of the high birth rate are mainly early marriage. Why the high birth rate increases day by day? Because of the early marriage and because of the value of the children. The children are viewed as the labor and the economic assets leading to the high fertility. And the low literacy rates also, especially the low female literacy level, is associated with the high birth rate. And poverty and the low standard of the living, with its implication for the children's survival, is associated with the high birth rate, and this is also the one of the cause. And the low prevalence of the family planning and the adaptation, mainly the use of the family planning methods to adopt a small family norms, is yet to make a substandard impact on the population explosion. Due to this only, these all are the cause of the high birth rate. And what is GFR? What is GFR? GFR कहले हम कौन बुझिबा? अमित सर कहंतु. प्रज्ञा मैडम कहंतु, what is GFR? नेक्स्ट क्लास में तो डीएनएच रही नहीं थी ना से सब को कहिथिले जीएफआर कोन ऑलरेडी मु कहिथिले
मैम मो रास्तार अछि सॉरी मैम
ओके अन्य माने प्रज्ञा मैडम कहंतु मिनती मैम कहंतु व्हाट इज जीएफआर
Ma'am, general fertility rate.
No, I am asking about that excretory system. What is GFR? In excretory
Okay.
system, GFR is also there. I am asking about that only. Excretory system na in excretory system mu kahithili renal system kidney विषय रे
glomerular filtrate rate
very good Arundhati is there and very good Arundhati GFR is the glomerular filtration rate what is glomerulus
a unit cell of kidney.
very good okay what is glomerulus Prasan sir outre again kuhantu
The unit cell of kidney.
unit cells of the kidney is called as the what glomerulus what is alveoli
Alveoli जोटा हमर lungs रो air sac होता है सेटा alveoli कहै
जणे जणे कुहंतु जणे जणे
lungs रो जो air sac गुडा कथा है ताको alveoli कहै
हाँ a number of 8 sex cells is present inside our where in the lungs where the gaseous exchange takes place where the oxygen is goes in and the CO2 carbon dioxide is liberated from the where these 8 cells it is called as the what alveoli this is the small unit sex which is present inside our lungs. And glomerulus is nothing glomerulus where the filtration takes place glomerulus is the what number of glomerular cell is present inside our where in the kidney where the GFR glomerular filtration rate takes place okay जितेबले हमर कोनोसी प्रकार नेफ्रोलॉजिकल डिसऑर्डर हे जाए सीकेडी 1 को कहबा या सीकेडी 2 कहबा सीकेडी 3 कहबा या ईएसआरडी कहबा एंड स्टेज ऑफ रेनल डिसऑर्डर इन ऑल दिस केसेस कोन हुए जीएफआर ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन रेट हमर कोन हुए कमी जाए ड्यू टू दैट ओनली हम बॉडी रे कोन हुए वाटर कंसंट्रेशन ता बढ़ी जाए सोडियम रे लेवल ता बॉडी रे बढ़ी जाए ड्यू टू दैट ओनली हमर कोन हुए कोन देखा जाए नेफ्रो पेशेंट मानकर कोन हुए मेन कॉम्प्लिकेशन कोन हुए नेफ्रो पेशेंट मानकर
swelling of the feet
swelling yes very good body सारा से मानकर कोन हुए कोन हो जाए water accumulation हो जाए yes or no and in that cases also हमें जदि हमें देखिबा सोडियम पोटेशियम एलएफटी आरएफटी जदि करिबा तले कोन हुए से मानकर बॉडी रे सोडियम पोटेशियम यूरिया क्रिएटिनिन लेवल बहुत बढ़ी जाई थाए why the urea creatinine level is increases in the CKD patient what is the reason behind it कोन पे बढ़े बॉडी रे
filtration नहीं करेनी
फिल्ट्रेशन नहीं पारिनी वेरी गुड बॉडी रा मेनली हम बॉडी भीतर जो भी एक्सक्रीटरी जिंस उडा को थ्रो द एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम जो पास आउट की बाहर को जीवा कथा जेहेतु ड्यू टू द कौन से कारण बसत मध्य हमर ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन रेट रा अफेक्ट हुए जा फल रे कि हमर बॉडी रे फिल्ट्रेशन नहीं ठीक से ही पारे नहीं एवं ब्लड उडा का प्रॉपर्ली प्यूरिफाई ही पारे नहीं एंड ब्लड रे अदर टॉक्सिक मटेरियल्स मॉर्बिड मटेरियल्स को अक्युमुलेट कर दिया ड्यू टू दैट ओनली it affect our filtration rate and due to that only हमर बॉडी रे कोन हुए सोडियम पोटेशियम हो यूरिया क्रिएटिनिन हम बॉडी रा बॉडी जे एवं हमर बॉडी स्वेलिंग मध्य हे जाय एंड ड्यू टू दैट ओनली हमर हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल मध्य ब्लड रे कमी कमी जाय देखि छ ना सीकेडी पेशेंट मानकर हीमोग्लोबिन बहुत कम थाए देखि छन ना नहीं
yes ma'am देखछु
किछि कहू नाहंती पूरा साइलेंट ताले मु भी साइलेंट रहबे सीकेडी कोन बुझी सीकेडी कोन क्रॉनिक किडनी डिसऑर्डर ना ना यो कोन किछि
ना ना kidney disorder
हां सीकेडी 1 2 3 रुए सीकेडी 1 is the early stage of the kidney disorder is called as the CKD 1 and the second stage of the kidney disorder is called as the CKD 2 and third stage of the kidney disorder is the CKD 3 and the last stage of the kidney disorder is called as the ESR that means end stage of renal disease you know the other name of the kidney is the renal as per the names it is termed as the ESRD but in our this topic now, I'm discussing about the general fertility rate. In the general fertility rate, now it is mainly measures of the fertility. That means mainly it is defined as the number of live birth per 1,000 women in the reproductive age. Okay, age group between the 15 to 49 years is mainly. And in the this general fertility rate, then the number of live birth in an area during the year divided by the mid-year female population in the age group of 15 to 49 years in the same area during the same year, it is multiplied by the 1000. It is called as the GFR. And this GFR is mainly considered to be the better indicator of the fertility than the crude birth rate, as only the women in the childbearing age are included in the denominator. And this is mainly, we know that all the women including in the denominator need not bear the children. This is all about our GFR. GFR is the general fertility rate. In general fertility rate, mainly it measures the fertility. And the more precise measures of fertility is well available, which is known as the age-specific fertility rate. In the age-specific fertility rate, where the number of birth rate are computed for the 1,000 women in specific age group. And what is total fertility rate? In total fertility rate, in total fertility rate, it gives the average number of children a woman would bear through her entire reproductive life. That means it's starting from the age group 18 to up to the 45 years of age. The total fertility rate gives the average numbers of children a woman would bear through her entire reproductive life. And mainly the total fertility rate is computed by the summing of the age-specific fertility rates per woman. And last one is your net reproduction rate. Net reproduction rate is NRR. In the net reproduction rate is the average number of live female children that would be born to a woman with the existing fertility and mortality pattern in the age group of 15 to 49. But now आमे तो एबे कहि पानी 15 to 49 एबे जो क्लाइमेटिक चेंजेस होची आमे आकु एटा 18 to 45 बोली प्राय लेटेस्ट रो जहा आछे, बट as per your books ना you have to remember up to 15 to 49. And this net reproduction rate is the average number of live female children that would be born to a woman with the existing fertility and the mortality pattern in the age group of 15 to 49. And the epidemiological methods, morbidity, mortality, and their determinants. Mainly, malnutrition is the high in certain segments of the population, the children and the pregnant mother. And mortality rate is generally as well as the age-specific mortality rates reflect the incidence of the malnutrition in a particular community. And mainly the mortality rates and indices that are mainly associated with the malnutrition in a community. And any reduction in these mortality rates would requires an improvement in the nutrition, healthcare, and environmental condition. And what is crude death rate, CDR? You remember this one? Crude death rate is mainly it is defined as the death per 1,000 population per year in the given community. It is called as the CDR. CDR is the crude death rate. That means in the CDR, mainly it is the death for the 1,000 population per year in the given community. And mainly the CDR, yes.
मैम आउथरे टिके कहबे बुझी हेलानी
हां गोटे 1000 पॉपुलेशन रे गोटे कम्युनिटी रे केते जण डेथ होचंती सेटा होची हमर सीडीआर बा क्रूड डेथ रेट 1000 पॉपुलेशन रे गोटे वर्ष रे केते जण मरुचंती गोटे कम्युनिटी रे आमे 1000 पॉपुलेशन को नेके काउंट करबा त ताकू कहबा जे क्रूड डेथ रेट एंड दिस क्रूड डेथ रेट मेनली इज द इंडिकेटर ऑफ द हेल्थ स्टेटस ऑफ द पीपल. And this rate, its declines in the death rate indicates the improvement in the health status of the population. And mainly, sharp declines in the death rate due to the control of the certain communicable diseases by improved health service, mainly without a similar declines in the birth rate in our country, is leading to the high growth rate. आजिकली सबू जाक प्रकार जो वैक्सीनेशन हो जाइए एंड आगे तो माने इन एलियर स्टेज कौन होता लोक मैंने बहुत सारा मरुले ड्यू टू दैट कौन सी प्रकार जमी वायरल इन्फेक्शन हो गला तो से समय से कंटिन्यू होता एंड से बहुत लोक मरते जमी मन कर चिंता कर कोविड पीरियड कथा कोविड तो बहुत लोक मरले कौन पे कारण से समय वैक्सीन जो पर्यटन आसी ना इनवेंशन हो ना से पर्यटन ज्यादा लोक मरी एंड जो आम एलियर कथा कहवा आम तो छोट छोट होते बहुत लोक मरुले डायरिया हो डिसेंट्री हो कि ट्यूबरकुलोसिस हो किंतु एबे डेथ रेट ट्रू डेथ रेट बहुत इंप्रूव होइछि बिकॉज ऑफ दिस वैक्सीनेशन ओनली वैक्सीन लगी आ लोक माने टिके अलर्ट मध्ये होई गलेनी दैट इज आल्सो वन ऑफ द कॉज then infant mortality rate is the IMR. What is infant mortality rate? Infant mortality is same. The infant mortality rate is mainly defined as the death under 1 year per 1000 live births in a given year. Okay, death rate under 1 year per 1000 live births in a given year. What is IMR? The number of deaths of the infants under the age of the 12 months in 1 year divided by the total birth rates, live births in the same area in the same year, multiply by the 1000. It is the IMR. IMR is the infant mortality rate. And this infant mortality rate is the considered as the sensitive index of the health status and mainly living standard of the people. Mainly and the cause of the death mainly among the infants are different from that of the adults because there are several other determinants of the mortality which vary from the different age group, region also, community also. And major determinants of the mortality mainly includes the poverty, poor nutrition and literacy, lifestyle factor also, population, adulteration and age at the marriage and large family size and short spacing of the birth. These all are the cause of the IMR. And in some of the cases, diarrhea disease like the respiratory disorder or undernutrition are considered to be the main cause of the high infant mortality. These all are the cause of the high mortality, infant mortality. And the declines in the infant mortality can be achieved mainly if we will focus on the improve of the standard of the living, control of the communicable diseases, and balanced diet and safe drinking water, availability of the better healthcare facilities including the safe deliveries also, and mainly the availability of the better medication like the various antibiotics and their utilization, mainly control of the communicable diseases. It also decrease the rate of the IMR, infant mortality rate. And what is neonatal mortality rate? Neonatal mortality rate is infants' death occurring mainly within the 4 weeks or the 28 days of the birth are called as the neonatal. Neonatal means before 3 months, after 3 months of the delivery, that means 90 days. I mean, neonatal period will कहबा. But in neonatal mortality rate means 4 weeks or 28 days of birth is called as the neonatal death. And then mainly the neonatal mortality rate is defined as the neonatal death for the 1000 live birth in a given population. And this neonatal mortality rate is equal to mainly the number of death under the 28 days of the age, that is divided by the total live births. It is multiplied by the 1000. It is the neonatal mortality rate. And what is the cause of this neonatal mortality death? Mainly the cause of the neonatal mortality death is mainly the congenitally disorder. That means any type of congenitally defect also the reason for the neonatal mortality death. And prematurity. In some cases of the delivery, prematurity delivery is there. And second, blood disorder, condition of the placenta and the cord. That cord means that is the which cord? Umbilical cord. And diarrhea disease and cause acute respiratory infection also. And mainly these all are the positive cause for the infant mortality rate. And what is perinatal mortality rate? What is perinatal mortality rate? In the perinatal mortality rate is mainly it is defined as the death, stillbirth, occurring in the late fetal life, that is the 28 weeks of the gestation or more, and death under 1 week. 1 week after birth in infants and weight over 1000 gram at birth. Perinatal mortality rate. What is perinatal mortality rate? In the perinatal mortality rate is mainly it is defined as the death, mainly death, stillbirth occurring in the late fetal life, that is the 28 weeks of the gestation or more, and the death under 1 week after the birth in infants weighting over the 1000 gram at birth. That is the perinatal mortality rate. The perinatal mortality rate is the late fetal death, that means stillbirth, plus death under 1 week in infants weight over the 1000 gram at birth, divided by the total life plus stillbirth weight over 1000 gram at birth. And what is the cause of this perinatal mortality rate? Mainly the complication in the mother during the pregnancy or during the delivery, and complication in placenta also, and disorder in the infant. This is mainly the perinatal mortality may be due to the disorder in the infant, or maybe the complication in the placenta, and maybe the complication in the mothers during the pregnancy and the delivery. And however, remember, main cause is the infection after birth and congenital deformities, and LBW also one of the cause, low birth weight, and injuries during the birth. And some of the several factors is identified to influence this main cause. They are the space between the pregnancy, means less spacing is one of the cause for this also. And mother age, that means the early pregnancy, that means less than 19 years of the or the late pregnancy, that means more than 35 years pregnancy conceive karuchi, in that case also. And those who also belongs to the low socio-economic status of the mother and poor nutritional status of the mother, and the unsatisfactory progress of the pregnancy, and lack of the availability and the non-utilization of the health service, improper delivery by the non-qualified birth attendants, like the माने बहुत सारा गाँव रे हम देखछन धाई भाई पाखरे मध्य से माने hospitalized हुंतिनी घरे ही delivery कर देनी. In that case also ए भलिया mortality rate बढ़िबार chances अछि. And this perinatal mortality is mainly considered as a sensitive indicator for the antenatal care during the pregnancy, and the natal care, that means care during the delivery, and the postnatal care after the birth. And what is the post-neonatal mortality rate? In the post-neonatal mortality, post means after delivery, that is the post. In the post-neonatal mortality rate, it mainly refers to the death of the infant during the 28 days to the 1 year of their life for 1000 live birth. Okay, the death of infants during the 28 days to the 1 year of their life for 1000 live birth is called as the post-neonatal mortality rate. In the post-neonatal mortality rate, mainly the death of the infant during the 20 days to under 1 year divided by the total live birth and multiplied by the 1000. This is the post-neonatal mortality rate. And what is the main cause of this post-neonatal mortality rate? The main cause of this post-neonatal mortality rate is mainly the communicable diseases. Okay, because these communicable diseases for which the immunization is available, like the whooping cough or diphtheria, TB is also there, tuberculosis, mycobacterium tuberculosis, malnutrition, and accident. In some of the acute respiratory infection is also one of the cause, and the diarrhea disease. These all are the malnutrition, accident. These all are the main reason of the post-neonatal mortality rate. And what is toddler mortality rates? Toddler mortality rates. In the toddler mortality rates means the children's between the 1 to 4 years are known as the toddlers group. Okay, that is the preschool age. 1 to 4 years is the toddlers age group, and the death, the number of the death in the 1 to 4 years age group, and the children's per 1000. Such children is known as the toddler mortality rate. And the mainly, the infant mortality rate has long been used as the indicator for the health status of the population. And how it's mainly 1 to 4 years mortality rate is much more sensitive. Okay. and mainly these mortality, these children are more prone to the infection, and some of them are due to the malnutrition than the infants, or they suffer from the dietary inadequacy due to the poor complementary feeding and the exposure to the infection from the unsanitary environment. These all are the cause of the toddler mortality rate. This toddler mortality rate is called as the TMR. Okay, and mainly this toddler mortality rate is reflected the economics, educational, cultural, nutritional status of the community. Next one is the maternal mortality rate. What is maternal mortality rate? In the maternal mortality rate is defined as the number of death of the mothers while pregnant or within the 42 days of the termination of the pregnancy, excluding the accidental causes in every 1 lakh pregnant women. That is called as the maternal mortality rate. What is maternal mortality rate? In the maternal mortality rate, mainly it's defined as the number of death of the mothers while pregnant or within the 42 days of the termination of pregnancy. What is 42 days of termination of pregnancy? कौन बुझीबा हमें 42 days of termination of pregnancy? आपण माने जानि छथि ने एमटीपी माने कोन बुझीबा हमें? What do you mean by MTP? MTP.
Medical termination of pregnancy.
Very good. The same
Doctor.
period of very good. MTP is the medical termination of pregnancy. प्रशांत सर आपण कोन करंती?
मो हेल्थ वर्कर अछि।
कोठी अछंती?
मो मयूरभंज डोकरा सेच रे अछि।
ओके, आमे जस्ट मो आज सेशन सरला पर जे जण आपण जॉइन करछन दि तीन जण माने जे जण कर हेई पारि पॉसिबल मते टिके आपण पर ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन देबे, जस्ट खाली आपण कोठू माने कोन पास आउट एंड राइट नाउ व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. ओके, नो रिएक्शन, नथिंग.
Definitely ma'am.
श्रुति मैडम, आर यू देयर?
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
कोड जाउछन किछि तो किछि भी नो रिएक्शन, पूरा साइलेंट पूरा.
मैम को क्वेश्चन डी कहबे कि मु नथिली जस्ट जॉइन कली.
अच्छा, अमित सर खाली मु कहिबे आपण माने साइलेंट रहिबे.
एने ऑफिसर
ओके, हाँ जो जहाँ मु कहूथिली एमटीपी इज द
मैडम आपण को चैप्टर ता पढौतन ते कहबे मैडम मु ते डेरी रे जॉइन करली मैडम.
मैडम आप 5 मिनट्स रहले मु 5 मिनट्स सॉरी जे तापरे म आपण सो कथा होची.
ओके मैम थैंक यू.
ओनली 5 मिनट्स लेफ्ट.
ओके मैम.
हां
घंटा डेरी रे हला तो मु कुटी पळैथिली तापर जॉइन करली.
हां बिकॉज़ ऑफ मी ओनली मोर एक्चुअली आज गोटे माने मो निज भाई को ओटी थिला, ऑपरेशन थिला, तो मु सेई टू ही हॉस्पिटल रो दोडी के आसी कि माने क्लास रो मु क्लास नै थिली किछि भलसे हेई पन ड्यू टू द नेटवर्क इशू. तो एनी मो नेक्स्ट क्लास रे माने ट्राई करबी आ माने आ घंटे केमति कोन करी के मैनेज करिया पे. ओके
ना मैडम ठीक अछि.
ओके, तो हाँ ये जो मेटरनल मोर्टेलिटी रेट होची, मेनली इन द मेटरनल मोर्टेलिटी रेट इट इज मेनली डिफाइंड एज द नंबर ऑफ डेथ ऑफ मदर्स व्हाइल द प्रेग्नेंट और द विदिन द 42 days of the termination of pregnancy, excluding the accidental cause in every 1000 pregnant women. It is called the maternal mortality rate. And what is the major cause of this maternal mortality rate? The major cause of the maternal mortality rates are due to the hemorrhage and the sepsis. Okay, because of hemorrhage and sepsis and toxemia. What is toxemia?
जणा नहीं मैडम. जणा नहीं मैडम.
हाँ आपण को जणा नहीं, आपको जणा थिबो कोंतु. कोंतु सब आस्ति समस्त को कोंतु.
मैडम क्वेश्चन दा उथरे दिए
टॉक्सेमिया कहले हम कोन बुझीबा? टॉक्सेमिया टॉक्सिक माने कोन? टॉक्सिक
हां
मिया मींस बस ब्लड.
सब पॉइजनस.
Poison.
Toxic means
Toxemia. So, what is the cause of the maternal mortality rate? The main cause of the maternal mortality rate are due to the toxemia, and sepsis is also one of the cause. Hemorrhage. Okay. In addition, hemorrhage is also one of the cause. And in addition, the anemia associated with the any kind of heart disorder or the lungs disease and the illegal abortion, some of the cause of the maternal mortality rates. What is the key factor for governing the maternal mortality rate? Mainly the mother's age. That means the ideal childbearing age is in between the 20 to 30 years. The conception at the age below the 20 or above the 30 years of the age now poses high risk for the mothers as well as for the newborn baby also. And undernutrition. Undernutrition also one of the cause. The prenatal nutrition status of the mother and the low dietary intake during the pregnancy mainly causes the severe risks of the mother. And undernutrition leads to the high mortality, maternal mortality. And parity means high parity. The more numbers of birth in the case of the mother poses the risk for her life also. And another cause is the birth intervals. That means the short birth intervals or the lack of the spacing hits high risk for both the mothers and the children. These all are the cause of the maternal mortality rate. And what is the population growth rate? What do you mean by population growth rate? But the population growth rate means the growth rate is a measure of the population changes comprising the addition of the newborns and the net migrants to the population and the subtraction of death. That means growth rate is equal to the live birth, total birth lives plus net migrants minus death during the year divided by the minus years population multiplied by the 1000. And what is natural increase rate? Natural increase rate means what? The natural increase rate mainly it indicates the net changes in the population on account of the birth and the death, and which are two crucial vital events determining the population changes. Okay. In natural increase rate, mainly these rates indicate the net changes in the population on accounts of the birth and the death, which are the mainly two crucial vital events determining the population changes. In the natural increase rate, the crude birth rate minus the crude death rate. What is sex ratio? Sex ratio means it is mainly defined as the number of females per 1000 male. Okay, number of females per 1000 males, it is called as the sex ratio. And this sex ratio under the favorable social condition like the high literacy rates and the good socio-economic condition is in the favor of the females. And life expectancy. What is life expectancy? That the average number of years an individual expected to live with the existing schedule of mortality. And what is life expectancy at birth? Now, the average number of years a newborn baby can be expected to live with the existing schedule of the mortality. What is life expectancy at a given age? That means the average number of additional years a person would live from a given time considering the existing pattern of mortality. What is LBW? LBW is the low birth weight. In low birth weight, mainly the weight of the newborn below the 2.5 kg. At the time of the birth is considered as the LBW. And mainly the newborns with a low birth weight are considered to be the high risk mortality rates are very high in this group. Okay. And they are those surviving will be the highly prone to the various infection and also growth retardation. What do you mean by antenatal? Antenatal को लेमे कौन बुझीबा? Antenatal. What is antenatal?
Before delivery.
Before birth. Before birth is the antenatal. Yes. What is neonatal? Neonatal periods means what?
After a child born within 28 days.
Yes, very good. Infant of 4 weeks old or 28 days old. Ma'am, please, आपन का नाम कौन कहले मते?
Arundhati.
Okay, good. And what is SRS? What is SRS? पढ़ेले भी जस्ट हम डिस्कशन कले से बाबत रे SRS is nothing. SRS is the sample registration system. Okay. And what is census? एबे जस्ट हम डिस्कशन करिसेंती टिके आपन को रिफ्रेश हे कि कोंतु मते व्हाट इज सेंसस
Census means
Population count, madam.
yes very good complete counting of all individual on a fixed data okay complete counting of all the individual on a fixed date what is congenital माने हम कोन बुझिबा
Congenital disease माने जोटा कि पूरा माने कौन कहबे सेटा इनबॉर्न डिजीज मैडम जोटा congenital disease
very good means हमर जोटा कि estimating from the birth or before birth okay that is the congenital जोटा हम heredity रू नहीं कि असते that is the congenital okay and what is gestation what do you mean by gestation
gestation, the period the mother carries before the from the conceiving to the childbirth.
very good okay हाँ एबे मते टिके टिके समस्त को ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन टिके टिके कहि दियंतु जल्दी से हमें बिकॉज़ नाउ द टाइम इज 6 PM हे गला हमें नेक्स्ट क्लास से मो सब तक जिंस डिस्कशन करबी स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम अमित सर yes introduction 1 or 2 line not more than that just last qualification and what you are doing right now not more than that jaldi अमित सर अनम्यूट करंतु yes
मैम गुड इवनिंग
very good evening
अमित कुमार मिश्र प्रोफेशन MBHR रेलवे जॉब करछि
BHR from where sir
तीस मोबाइल
good
भद्रक ग्रुप बिलोंग्स टू
okay right now you are working at Bhubaneswar na
भुवनेश्वर
okay next Lakshmi Priya Sahu madam कोंतु Lakshmi Priya Sahu
गुड इवनिंग मैम
very good evening कोंतु मैम जल्दी जल्दी हमें सारी बा टाइम इज ओवर ना जल्दी कोंतु
भुवनेश्वर बिलोंग्स करछि भुवनेश्वर ही होछि ग्रेजुएट हूं होम मेकर
कौन कहले मैडम लास्ट वन कौन कहउछंती
होम मेकर हूं मैं
ओके ओके गुड गुड प्रशांत सर प्लीज
गुड इवनिंग मैम मो ना प्रशांत महंत मु मयूरभंज बारिपदारू आउ क्वालिफिकेशन डिप्लोमा आउ बीटेक इन फार्मेसी
ओके राइट नाउ व्हाट यू आर डूइंग सर
MPHW डुगरा सीएच सेंटर अछि
वेरी गुड एंड नेक्स्ट संगमित्रा बस्तिया
मैडम पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन इन जूलॉजी
very good madam right now what you are doing
housewife and my business
okay 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 next artha tarana madam कोंतु
आज्ञा मैं मु जाजपुर कोची
आगे सर कौन से
जाजपुर बरी मु आर्तत्राण त्रिपाठी
आगे सर
आई एम टीचर
ओके एबे काम करूछंती सर
जोरदार
ओके ओके गुड वेरी गुड नेक्स्ट अरुंधति मैम कोंतु अरुंधति आर दे
Yes ma'am, good evening ma'am.
very good evening कोंतु
Myself Arundhati Visakala Chetty, done my PhD in botany, now doing my coaching classes and business.
okay you are taking the classes na
Yes ma'am.
okay very good next Padmaja ma'am
गुड इवनिंग मैम मु भुवनेश्वर रे रहे न्यूट्रिशन ऊपर काम करछि सेत पई DNH रे कोर्स ता करूछि मते हेल्प करबो
आगे आगे भल लागुची मैडम जॉइन करी के क्लास पे
हां मैडम भल लागु
आगे आगे थैंक यू
ओके मैम
हां नेक्स्ट आउ की अछंती कहिबे टिके
मैडम आपण जे कोथर पढैले टिके मते कहबे मु फॉलो कर पालिनी
मैडम
हां कोन पढा होतला
हां तृप्ति मैडम कोन कहउछंती कोहंतो
yes ma'am good evening ma'am
Very good
तृप्ति
evening.
मैं बस्तिया ମୁଁ ମାଷ୍ଟର ଡିଗ୍ରୀ ଇନ୍ ପଲିଟିକାଲ ସାଇନ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ରିସୋର୍ସ ମ୍ୟାନେଜମେଣ୍ଟ। ଏବେ ମୁଁ ଆମ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁଟର ଅଛି।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆଜ୍ଞା କୋଉଠି ରହୁଛନ୍ତି? ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱରରେ ବିଲଙ୍ଗସ୍ କରନ୍ତି?
ବିଲଙ୍ଗସ୍ କେୟାର ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ଫ୍ରଣ୍ଟରେ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ରଶେଖରପୁର।
ओके 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 थैंक यू सो मच एंड नेक्स्ट क्लास जदी आउ कि नुआ जॉइन अभी तो और भी अछंती बट टाइम तो हे जाउची। हां मैडम
कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर देबी की?
हां कौन कहले सर प्रेजेंस सर कोन
कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर मैम देबी की?
ओके 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 ऑलरेडी मो लास्ट क्लास रे कांटेक्ट नंबर देइथिली सर आपण माने बोते नथिले देन मो आउतरे दोउची जल्दी से ये करंतु 70080
यस
21048
थैंक यू।
70080
48 ओके मैम। आज मैडम कोथरु पढेले टिके कहबे मैडम प्लीज।
अच्छा अच्छा आज मु आपण मानकर जो कम्युनिटी मेडिसिन जो रही आपणकर डीएनएच रो बुझी पारले?
हाँ डीएनएच रे मैडम कोटा 1 2 3 कोथरे
आपण मु कहबे त आपण सिलेबस पाई छंती कि आपण बारे मटेरियल्स अछि कि मैडम?
अच्छी मैडम।
द पॉपुलेशन डायनामिक्स एंड द एपिडेमियोलॉजी मजे आरंभ करछि। पॉपुलेशन डायनामिक्स एंड एपिडेमियोलॉजी यूनिट 1 टा आरंभ करछि।
ओके ओके सर यूनिट 1।
हां
थैंक यू।
डीएनएच रे जो पब्लिक हेल्थ एंड हाइजीन अछि सेटा मु आरंभ करछि ओके
ओके ओके मैम।
क्लास सारी बेटर टाइम ऑलरेडी ओवर हेलानी ना के कोन कहिबे कोन शीघ्र
मैम एटा पब्लिक हेल्थ एंड हाइजीनिक रे अछि।
हां हां पब्लिक हेल्थ एंड हाइजीनिक रे आसीबो
वॉल्यूम 2 रे।
हां हां वॉल्यूम 2 रे अछि।
थैंक यू
ओके
मैम।
मैम।
वेलकम वेलकम रहिबा में भी
ओके मैम थैंक यू
ओके थैंक यू मैम। एक सेकंड